Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Metal Gear / Metal Gear Solid tutorial series we've got going on here. Let's just, before we carry on, have a quick recap at what we did last last video rather. We put the movement in and did the nice switching of the rooms, very nice. So that doesn't sound like a lot, but hopefully we'll get more done in this video. As I said before, we're doing this live, not like live streaming or whatever, but we're doing it live in the sense that I have no notes and we're literally just making it up as I go along. As I said before, that way we can catch any errors that I make and fix them so you don't run into the same ones and all that other good stuff. So yeah, I was thinking today on focusing on basic kind of enemies. We're not going to be using behavior trees. That's what we'll do in the polishing phase, and we're not going to be focused on animations or anything, but I just wanted to kind of get the enemy started, because I thought that'd be quite a little fun thing to do. Excuse me. So let's just dive right into it. What I'll be doing is, let's get, if we click the third person character, then right click this up here in the world outliner, and then find in content browser. You can see this is where our third person character is. What I'm going to do is literally just right click and duplicate the third person character blueprint, and then we're going to call it basic_enemy. This isn't the final enemies we'll be using, but for now they'll do as little kind of placeholders, just to get the general sense of things going. So double click and open basic enemy, and what we're going to do is remove the movement input completely. Gone. Bam. Don't cry about it. It's gone. Sorry, I'm terrible at making jokes. So now that we're in the viewport, you can use these up here if you didn't know. You got event graph, construction script, and viewport. What we're going to do now is we'll keep the arrow component. We're going to remove the camera boom and the follow camera. So get rid of the camera boom and follow camera, and you'll be left with just this with a weird arrow sticking out of him. That'll be fine. So we're going to pop this little guy into our level. Let's put him facing away from our player in the, let's put him in the second room, prop him up just here so the player has to get past him, and this enemy isn't going to move. This is literally just going to be a testing dummy. What I might do is check the mesh quickly. Right, yeah, so if you go back into your basic enemy and click the mesh, you can see it here, and scroll down to physics material override and click it. You'll see why we're doing this in a moment. It doesn't really matter which one you pick, because metal's there. I'm going to pick metal. If they're not showing up for you, don't worry about it. Just create a random physics material, bring one in from another project. As I said, we're literally just basing a few things at the moment. So let's go to the event graph now and type in type in custom event, sorry. So add custom event. Let's call it "Oh no, I am dead." So when "Oh no, I am dead" is fired, we're going to fire some code to basically turn this guy into a ragdoll and then make him disappear, or keep him there. I don't know. You know. Let's just test it out first, see how we feel. So we're gonna basically just turn on ragdoll, because that's quite fun. Right, so just grab the mesh and then drag it in to the thing, and it will pop up as a variable. Nice and simple. Then from this little output pin, we're going to type in set all bodies and select set all bodies simulate physics. Don't pick reset all bodies, just set all bodies simulate physics. There, and then plug these two together, because obviously the code always fires to the right. Red is basically power, and all these blue nodes feed off this power. So when "Oh no, I'm dead," once we call that, we're giving it power, so everything connected to it will fire. Awesome. So let's grab the mesh in again, like so, and now we're going to set simulate. So type in set simulate, and there'll be set simulate physics. Just plug that in there and connect it to the line of power. And then finally, drag the mesh in again, and then wake all rigid bodies. So select wake all rigid bodies. Awesome. So you think we might be done there, but we're not. As you can see here, simulate, both are set to not true. Obviously, because we want to actually simulate physics, we're going to collect both of that, select both of them, sorry. I really can't concentrate today, I do apologise. Awesome. So then hit compile and save. Just thinking how we're going to trigger this. For this basic enemy, we're going to go up to add component on the top left in the viewport and hit box, type in box in the add component and select box collision. Then we're just going to move it behind the enemy, flatten it a bit and just make it a little bigger. So this is where the player would sneak up to the enemy to do his thing. Obviously this will probably change, but I just want to get the oh, excuse me, boring myself. I just want to get the make sure this works before we actually do anything. So that's cool. There we go. Something's telling me we're going to run into a snag for whatever reason in a minute, but don't worry. So what we're going to do is just for testing things out, open the level blueprint. Yeah, right. So select the enemy, open the level blueprint, add event, collision, add on begin overlap. So then we're going to go, so that node's created, sorry I'm going a bit too fast for you. If I'm not, then that's great. On actor begin overlapped, other actor. So drag from this other actor pin and type in equals, and then it will say equal object. So then from this select asset, we're going to type in get player pawn. So that basically means something's overlapping me, is it the player? So then just add a branch. You can press B on the key, hold B and click on the keyboard to make that a little bit faster for you. So someone's touching me, is it the player? So if it is the player, we're going to do once, because we don't want this firing multiple times. Do once, and then we're going to right click, because obviously we have the enemy still selected in the game. We're going to select basic enemy, and then we're going to type in oh no, and then you'll see oh no I'm dead, which is our event. Comes up, there we go. So let's test this out. Right, so let's walk over to him. Oh no, he died. Excellent. Let's just test a more extreme example of this to make sure it wasn't a problem. So I'm going to turn this one facing us so the trigger volume will be away. So let's run in. Oh, obviously, sorry about this, I just realised we haven't actually put the code in for these ones. So just select another enemy in the scene and then type in overlap, and then on actor begin overlap, and then the third enemy, select that one and begin overlap, and then literally just copy the code we did a minute ago for the first enemy all the way from player pawn to oh no I am dead, and just copy paste it. Okay, right, and then do it again for the third enemy. And before you carry on, you need to remember the oh no I'm dead, because it's assigned to the first enemy, will only fire on that first enemy. So we're going to keep it on the first one. On this one we're going to get basic enemy 2, which was this one. Just right click, create a reference, there we go. And then for the third one, click the third one. Oh, sorry about that, I have no idea what I did there. Right, and then add reference, plug it in there. Awesome. So let's give that a try. He's dead, he's dead, and then the moment of truth, he's not dead. Awesome. That's good news indeed. So let's kind of make this slightly more interesting. So this is our enemy that we're gonna need the player to kill, so we can delete these two. Bye bye. Right, so when the player comes up behind them, we're gonna want to bring up a button prompt. So this is starting to get into more Metal Gear Solid territory as in Metal Gear, but stick with me here. Excuse me, I think I'm gonna pardon me. Oh, sorry about that. Right, so we're going to add something. So go to click the third person character, and then go to the far right, and there'll be a thing called edit third person character. Just click it there. Alternatively, you could have just clicked in the content browser third person character. So make sure this is your character and not the enemy, okay? And then we're going to use the E button. So just type in E and then select the E key input. It looks like this. If yours doesn't look like this, you haven't done it correctly. So just keep bringing up the content browser and press E till you find the key event for E. Then we're going to branch, and then we're going to create a new variable here. Can I kill? Okay. And then we're actually going to create another variable. Oh, sorry, I got way ahead of myself there. The variable we called can I kill, make sure it's a boolean, which is the nice red thing that will be connected to our branch in a moment. So now that we've sorted that out, we're you can tell I don't normally do this kind of stuff, can't you? We're going to create a new variable, and this time we're going to call it basic enemy. Okay, and then on the variable type, I think 4.7 and above has the variable type over here, and anything underneath has it down here. Variable type, we're actually just going to type in basic, and you can see an object reference to our basic enemy appears. So we'll compile that. We'll drag can I kill into the thing and select get and connect that to our branch. Okay, so when E is pressed, we're going to find out if we can kill. If it's false, we don't want to do anything. But if it's true, we want to grab this basic enemy and then type in the oh no, I am dead. So think of this as punching the enemy. Okay, so when we're in the trigger box, we're going to be setting this to true, and then obviously when we're out the trigger box, it's false. So if it's true, we're going to kill the enemy. Actually, what we're going to do here, which is really smart thinking on my part, I deserve a cookie, is we're going to drag the basic enemy in, okay, select get, then we're going to drag its pin to the right, and when the compact blueprint library comes up, which is a totally made up word for this, going to type in is valid and select either one. I like using the, not the function one, I don't like that one. Select the question mark one and plug that into true. So basically what this is doing is, if I can kill this person, is this person actually real? Okay, so if you'll see what I mean in a moment. So if they are real, we're gonna kill them. Pardon me. So there we go, he's dead. And then we're going to set basic enemy to just drag it in. So grab the variable again, but hold Alt as you drag it in, or just select set and connect this afterwards. So this line of code goes like this: if we're punching, can we kill anyone? Yes, there's someone we can kill. Is the person actually there? If they're there, we're gonna kill them, and then we're gonna say there's no enemy there anymore. So in case this code fires again, sorry, obviously it's not gonna be valid because there's no enemy there anymore. But even though we've set basic enemy as the variable type and everything, it doesn't know which enemy to actually use. It's just basically a safeguarding feature so you don't mess anything up. So we'll be setting what this basic enemy is in a moment. So go back to your level blueprint, in case it's that word that always messes me up, isn't it? In case you've forgotten and accidentally closed it, it's here under blueprints, open level blueprint. So on begin overlap, is the player touching me? Yes, he is. Do once, that's fine. Oh no, I'm dead? No, that's not what we want to do. So delete the oh no, I'm dead, but keep the basic enemy variable because we'll be needing that in a moment. what we're going to do is make sure our player is clicked in the scene and go back to level blueprint and right click, create reference to third person character. So we're then going to say set can I kill, and we're going to set it to true, and then we're also going to set basic enemy, and then we're going to connect this basic enemy to that. So this is basically telling the player which basic enemy we're talking about and saying that we can kill them. What we need to also adjust for is if the player moves away from the enemy, because if the player moves away from the enemy and they kill them, that's not going to seem even slightly realistic, is it? So what we're going to do is go over to the enemy again and give him a nice little click, head back into level blueprint, and this time type in end overlap and select what I'm making up words now, and then select add on actor end overlap. So just for safety, we're going to select all this code up to the do once, well, including the do once, and pop it in here. And we're going to do something that looks a little complicated, but it's really not. We're going to connect the completed of the do once to a sequence node. So drag to the right, type in sequence. So the then 0 is going to go to the reset of the do once from the overlap code. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see this very well, but in case you can't, this is getting worse and worse, isn't it? Sorry. So the sequence goes to the do once node of the first line of code we did, the begin overlap code. In case you get lost, find your begin overlap code, follow it along to the do once, and see the empty reset pin. You want to plug your then 0 sequence into that. So we're also just going to highlight this sequence, Control C and Control V to copy it and add it to the end of the begin overlap code. Okay, so we're going to put it there, and then actually no, ignore me completely. This is why I said do it live. Right, see from the after we've set the basic enemy, okay, we're actually going to see where it says here set. We're going to drag this to the reset of the do once. So the execution pin from set basic enemy is going to go to the second do once node, and the second do once node is going to go to the first do once node. Sounds complicated, but I'll explain the flow in a minute. So the second sequence execution will be basically grab the can I kill basic enemy reference and the third person character reference and put it here, and what we're going to do is connect it to the sequence, set we cannot kill, and simply just delete this basic enemy. Right, so thinking about it, actually we can get rid of the sequence just because there's no need for it. Basically what a sequence node is lets you fire multiple code at once. It's supposed to be a cleaner way of doing things, but you can see there it's quite messy. So we're literally just going to get rid of the sequence and plug the cannot kill and the basic enemy there, and then going to connect the second basic enemy to the reset do once. So let's have a quick walk through this code, so I know it sounds complicated at the moment. So there's someone touching the enemy. Is it the player? Yes it is. Okay, do this code one time. The player can kill me, and I am the enemy that the player should be able to kill, and then reset the do once. So this means this is the second do once, and this basically means that if this do once is closed, it should now be open the next time we try and walk through it. Think of it as a gate, like a literal real life gate. You've walked up to the gate, and if a do once is set as default, the gate is open, the player walks in it, gate closes. If you reset the gate, obviously it just brings the gate up so people can walk through it one more time. Okay, so then on their actor end overlap, is the player touching me? Well, was the player touching me, sorry, and is no longer touching me. That is true. Then do this once. The player can't kill me, and there's no enemy you should be thinking about, and reset the overlap. of the original. So basically means that they can overlap with me again, just in case they've walked up to me and then snuck away. So let's see if I've messed up completely here. So let's walk into the second room, and we're standing behind him, and press E, and he's dead. Hooray! And I'm actually thinking there might be an error here where we can kill him twice. That doesn't seem to be the case, but I don't trust it. So what I'm gonna do is think for a moment. Bear with me 2 moments. Right, I've thought. Right, basically we're going to go back into the basic enemy, create a new variable, type is going to be boolean, which is obviously true or false, and then we're going to put am I dead. So am I dead, and then at the end of oh no I am dead, we're actually going to tell them by alt dragging the variable and setting am I dead. So the enemy's now dead. This is in the basic enemy script, by the way, in case you didn't catch that. Sorry about that. As you can tell, I'm not used to actually giving tutorials verbally, so I miss a lot of things out, but hopefully we'll get better at this over time. So we're going to check first, after this do once, well, before can I kill, we're going to drag this over to the right, and we're actually going to copy and paste this basic enemy reference and get am I alive? Am I dead, sorry. So as you can see, it gives us a nice little boolean. So let's put a branch node by pressing B on our keyboard and connecting it into the original completed of the first do once node. So am I dead? We want this code to fire if he's not dead, so just plug that into false, and this basically means the same as normal, but the first do once now checks if he's already dead. If he's not dead, we'll do what we did before, but if he is dead, we're not going to do anything, because, you know, he's dead and you don't really want to play with dead bodies, unless you're into that, obviously. And we're going to give that a nice quick try. Pow, he's dead. So then we could sneak past him just fine. Oh, fallen out the room. Awesome. So that was just a very simple look at a very, very dumb enemy. In the future, we'll be moving this code into the actual enemy blueprint itself and actually giving the enemy a brain. But hopefully this inspires you to experiment a little more. You could throw an animation of, you know, punching or choking or something. You could put a button prompt like MGSV does it, or Peace Walker, where it says R to... Actually, we'll do that right now. We'll do it now. So I'm going to create another folder in my contents. I'm going to call it UMG. Okay. Okay, and then right click, user interface, widget blueprint, and we're going to call it UMG kill me please. So we're just going to open it up, and we're literally just going to have a... Let's have a text, so common text in the palette, and just drag it in, and then we're going to have, I don't know, type in TH, yeah, type in circular throbber, just as an example. So click the text box, select anchors, select the one that's in the bottom middle, so the square's in the bottom middle, and do that again for the circular throbber. So move this text box somewhere in the bottom middle, but not exactly at the bottom of the screen. Make sure it's as centered as possible, and do the same with the circular throbber just above the text, and then we'll set text, press E to kill this sucker. As you can see, the text is like well too big, sorry. So we're going to stretch this box massively, and then just set the justification and appearance to centered. Okay, and then we're going to go back into our code, our do once code, and you see where we say reset after setting the basic enemy. We're now going to create a widget, and we're going to select UMG kill me please, owning player, get player character. We're going to, on the return value, right click and promote to variable. Okay, we're then going to call this kill this sucker UI. or actually no, just put KTS will be fine. So that's kill this sucker. So it's set as a variable. From the output pin of the variable, we're going to select add to add to the viewport, and we're then going to connect after add the viewport back to the second do once node, because obviously that code's disappeared now because we added the create widget. So we connect that back to the do once reset, and then on this second basic enemy where we unset everything, we're going to grab our KTS, select get, and we're going to find out if it's valid. Because obviously if it's valid, it means the enemy was still alive, and obviously because the way we've coded it, if the enemy's dead, this code won't fire, so this will never be created. So if this is valid, that means the enemy's either about to be killed or he's dead. So is valid. We're going to simply drag it in again and drag the variable pin, just remove from parent, which deletes the actual UI element, connect it there and drag that back into the first do once node where it should be. Excellent. So let's have a look at that. Press E to kill this sucker. Right, but when he's dying, it's not killing him. Right, I know what I'll do. So, there's plenty of ways to do this, you see. I'm just trying to think of the easiest way to show it off. We'll save that for another time, because there's so many ways to do it. We'll save it for when we've moved all this code into an enemy or something. But obviously you can see now that it does basically work. The enemy dies, even though, that looks like a very suggestive pose right there. Almost as if he knows what we're doing, because that's obviously the pose Johnny Sasaki does in Metal Gear Solid 1. Nerd fact! But anyway, that's all we'll touch on today, because I don't want this to get into like a 3-hour epic video. But hopefully I taught you how to do a very, very dumb AI that you can kill and turn into a ragdoll, which is quite a little fun feature. Next time we'll be getting into more gameplay orientated things, but I just wanted to create this because, you know, get this project rolling and get stuff done. There's plenty of stuff left to do, and as I said, when we get more towards the end, we'll start by adding the animations in and doing all that good stuff, refining the gameplay, making the enemy smarter, maybe even throwing a little story in there or something. But yeah, please experiment, try outside these lessons. It's probably good to make a duplicate of your project. Try, experiment, come up with some interesting gameplay mechanics, and as always, drop a comment with any suggestions or slap my wrist if you think I've done something wrong, and maybe just some feedback on how these tutorials are. I know my voice has been messing up a few times in this video, but you know, I've never done tutorials before. Apparently people like fast-paced pow pow pow, but I like doing things nice and slow, where you work for a minute, play Metal Gear Solid for an hour, come back, work for a minute again, play Metal Gear Solid for an hour, so the other half comes in, you say you're doing research, and then you carry on doing the project. But yeah, let me know what you think, like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends, do all of that, and join us in the next part where we carry on this crazy adventure. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a brilliant day, morning, evening, night, whatever. Always in the outro and mess up my voice. Whatever it is where you are, enjoy the rest of your time. Have a nice evening, day, morning, night, or whatever, and I'll speak with you soon, everyone. Bye.